Good morning, children. So we have done two types of chemical reactions, that is combination and decomposition. We now move on to the next type of reaction, that is displacement reaction. This can even be called as a substitution reaction. But the word substitution reaction is more associated with carbon compounds lesson, and this reaction is very similar to what we will be studying in substitution reaction in carbon compounds. But here we shall name it displacement reaction. In your earlier classes, I have told you what displacement reaction means, and with an example I had explained. So we will just go ahead with the first example of displacement reaction. The first example of displacement reaction that we are dealing with is copper sulfate solution we have prepared. We have taken copper sulfate powder. It's actually a crystalline substance, so it's blue in color, and this copper sulfate powder we have taken in a beaker, and we have added water to it. So it dissolves in water. It's peacock blue in color, and it results in the aqueous solution of copper sulfate. Now to this we have added a iron nail. We can take an iron nail and we can dip this iron nail in the copper sulfate solution that we have prepared. So this copper sulfate is also called as blue vitriol, blue because of its color, and it's a sulfate salt and hence a name vitriol. Then this is iron metal that we have taken, it's a solid, so this is solid. What are the products here? It's going to give us ferrous sulfate. It is also called as iron sulfate. So FeSO4 and copper are the two products. FeSO4 is the new product that we have formed, that is aqueous, and copper in the metallic form, that is solid form, we are going to get. Now what has happened over here in this equation? Iron, which is more reactive than copper, has displaced copper from the copper sulfate solution. There is a series of metals, and it is called as a reactivity series. Now in the reactivity series, we arrange the various metals in the decreasing order of reactivity. That is, on the top will be the most reactive, and at the bottom we will have the least reactive metals. So this series in which the metals have been arranged is called as reactivity series. If you want, you can refer to the metal non-metal lesson in our textbook and you will get this series over there. So if you see that series, you find that the position of iron is above copper. Copper comes below iron. So this indicates that copper is less reactive and iron is more reactive. So the more reactive metal displaces the lesser one by forming its ions. So iron combines with sulfate and results in the formation of ferrous sulfate or iron sulfate by displacing copper from the copper sulfate solution. So the two new products that we are getting is iron sulfate. It is also called as green vitriol, and this is copper metal. Here I have just simplified the equation for you. That is, how can we find out the products? So this is one box that I have made here, but because we have the positive ion first, we will write Fe first and then sulfate to FeSO4 you will get. Both are having valency 2 plus and 2 minus, and so both get cancelled and you have FeSO4. And what is remaining here is just copper, and you'll write down copper. Coming to the next example, copper sulfate, again solution we have prepared, and zinc metal we are using here. So it gives zinc sulfate, and again copper is displaced. Copper is again less reactive as compared to zinc. Zinc is more reactive, so zinc displaces copper from the copper sulfate solution, and it results in the formation of zinc sulfate. Zinc sulfate is also called as white vitriol, and copper is displaced. So we can see copper, pink colored copper getting displaced very clearly in this reaction. Let's go to the next example. Coming to the third and the last example of displacement reaction. Here we have taken copper sulfate, again aqueous solution, and the metal that we have chosen this time is lead. Lead, the symbol is Pb and it comes from plumbum. So this is one metal that we have added to the copper sulfate solution. Now on adding this, we find that lead, which is more reactive as compared to copper. So lead will start displacing copper from the copper sulfate solution, and in turn it will go on forming lead sulfate, that is PbSO4. Pb is again 2 plus charge and sulfate ion 2 minus charge. So again, when you cross the valencies, you will get the formula PbSO4, and along with this the next product will be copper. So this is how the displacement reactions are taking place. Here also I've just made one box, a dotted one here, which will tell you how the product is, what are the products rather. So PbSO4 is one product and copper is the second product. Coming to the definition of displacement reaction, the reaction in which the place of the ion of a less reactive metal or element in a compound is taken by another more reactive element by formation of its own ions is called displacement reaction. On seeing, you might feel that this is a very lengthy definition, but try to understand it by breaking it into parts. Like the reaction in which the place of the ion of a less reactive element in a compound. So your compound is copper sulfate, and which is the less reactive element here? The copper element is less reactive. So who is taking its position? It is taken by another more reactive element. The another more reactive element is here lead, by formation of its own ions. So lead forms its ions, enters the aqueous solution, forms lead sulfate and displaces copper, and that is called as a displacement reaction. So with this we come to the end of this third type of reaction, that is displacement reaction, and I hope you are writing down. It's a, you have to write down, you must write down as the explanation is going on, because it covers the entire lesson, and you will be making in short notes for your own self. So let us go on to the last and the fourth type of reaction, that is double displacement reaction. Okay, children, we now come to the last type of chemical reaction, that is the double displacement reaction. Now, how is this reaction different from the displacement reaction? The displacement reaction that we studied, we saw that only one ion was getting displaced. But here there will be displacement of two ions. So therefore it is called as double displacement reaction. In the displacement reaction, we saw that how a metal of higher reactivity like iron displaced a metal of low reactivity, that is copper. So only one ion was displacing another one. Here there will be displacement between two types. So let us understand it with one example. Here we have the first reactant, that is potassium chromate. The formula of potassium chromate is K2CrO4. How is this formula formed? You can make it. Now you have must have definitely got accustomed to make the formulas, I hope. If not, then you can make them. You can just write K, that is potassium, that is 1 positive, and this is chromate radical, that is 2 minus, and when you cross them you get the formula K2CrO4. Then this is barium sulfate, which is our next reactant. Barium, that is 2 plus, sulfate ion is 2 minus, and when you cross you get BaSO4. Now if you have noticed, in these two reactants we have positive as well as negative radical in each. Potassium is positive and chromate is negative. Barium is positive sulfate is negative. So in the reactants, when you mix the two reactants, they undergo bond breaking. The bonds between this reactant and the bonds that are present in this reactant are going to break. And when they break, there is rearrangement of ions. And this rearrangement of ions results in the formation of new products. The new products are K2SO4, that is potassium sulfate, and BaCrO4, that is barium chromate. Another important thing, both these are in aqueous forms. It's not written here, but both these reactants, we have taken them in their aqueous states. So what products are we getting? We are getting potassium sulfate, which is a aqueous solution, and barium chromate, which is a precipitate, and that is indicated by a downward arrow, or you can even write down solid because it is a solid insoluble substance. What is the color of this precipitate? The color of the precipitate is pale yellow in color. You have to remember the colors of the precipitates. Okay, now we come to the formation of products, how these products are formed. So this is another box that I have made for you that will make the things easier for you to remember the products. So in one of the previous slides, we had discussed that how the rearrangement of atoms takes place. If we have got both the types of ions in the reactants. So here the positive of the first combines with the negative of the second. So this is accordingly K2SO4. That is our first product. Now how did we get K2SO4? It's not just that we have got here K2SO4, so we have written. We have actually found out the formula by crossing the valencies. Potassium being 1 positive, sulfate being 2 negative will give us the formula K2SO4. So we get potassium sulfate as our first product, and second is this one which is inside the bracket, that is barium chromate. Barium being positive is written first and chromate being negative is written second. Both are having valency 2 positive, 2 negative, and hence we have the formula BaCrO4. So here you can see that there is double displacement. Ions, 2 times ions are getting displaced, or rearrangement of ions is taking place. So that is what is double displacement reaction. Let us see the definition. The reaction in which the ions in the reactants are exchanged to form a precipitate is called double displacement reaction. So here we can find that the ions are getting exchanged, and it is resulting in the formation of a precipitate. So mostly double displacement reactions are associated with the formation of precipitates. So I hope you have understood the 4 types of reactions that we have studied on the basis of the nature and the number of reactants and products. Now we move on to the next type, that is endothermic and exothermic reactions.